So what's up, y'all? I was just thinking about money and stuff, and especially because today was payday for me. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to do like a new series, and I'm gonna name it Money Talks because money does talk, but it's also like money talks. See the pun in the name, but yeah, I wanted to name it that, but I really just wanted people to kind of like just talk about money and understand stuff because like when I was in middle school, we had like little like clubs and stuff where people would come in and kind of talk to us about like their professions and stuff. So one club I was in was, I think it was called like financial advising or something along that line. But yeah, they pretty much taught us like more of like the logistics and kind of managing your own money versus like investing because that's a whole aspect of finance that is its own beast. But that's kind of what I wanted to start off like episode one with was yeah, really just understanding, how to handle what you have in your income. And even if it's a little bit, you still want to learn how to maintain it and how to maintain what you have and what you're working with. So basically, this episode is going to be based on assets, and yeah, that's pretty much the overall topic. So, what are assets? So a lot of people, we kind of tend to hear this term in business. People will say like, "Oh, my assets this or my assets that," and it has nothing to do with your butt. But no pun intended. It has all to do with finance. So when I was younger, I would always hear like assets, like let that be an asset to you, or how do I manage my assets and stuff. And I was like, what does that even mean? So later on, I started like learning it, like much later, even though I should have looked it up. But basically, an asset is pretty much something that makes money for you. So a good example could be like we could go with real estate since that's like the main thing that people tend to use and tend to make assets for themselves. So for example, like let's say you have a whole house, right? You have your whole house of your own, right? And you might have some spare space and you're like, you know what, I want to make more money and I don't use that space. Why don't I let, somebody live there and rent out that little bit of space? So the property in and of itself, the whole house, and that room specifically that you're renting, that is considered an asset because it can make money for you. So let me use another example. So another asset could be a stock. So for example, like if you buy some shares in a company, that's an asset because it's making money for you. And there are different types, and that's another topic to get into. There's assets that they kind of work for you, so that's where stocks come in because you don't physically do the work, but they kind of just generate revenue over time. And you have the other types, which are where you kind of have to do more work, but you're still getting the same benefit of it. So the point is that a lot of people, they don't understand the value in it, and they kind of just spend money. But the value is that you're having something that's benefiting you long term, but you're having something that's making money for you. So it's like if you have a job, it's cool that you have that job, but the point of the asset is that it gives you extra income. So basically, it's kind of like its own investment long term because you're investing in something. So let's say like with the house, right? There's gonna be a little bit of give and take. So you might have to invest like a certain amount into the upkeep. But when you look at the profit, you're making more money. So this goes back into the whole situation of investing and also selling things. Like for example, people who they tend to flip cash, like they'll usually buy something for maybe $1, and then let's say they sell it and they might lose some of the profit due to like maybe packaging and stuff, but you get what I'm saying. You still make maybe a $7 profit. So you're still making money, but the point is that it's still giving you something back. There's still a return on investment. So the overall gist and lesson in this is that you want to invest in some assets because they're giving you back money. Now, going back to like the pros of the overall video, what a lot of people do is they tend to spend a lot of money and things that they really want, like luxury items. They use the money that they actually make versus using money from your actual assets, which is better because a lot of wealthy people, a lot of the stuff that they have, like wealthy homes And cars and stuff and luxury items, they buy them with the money from assets. They don't buy from their general income, which is smarter because you always want to have your solid income and have it there for you. But in case something happens, then you're liable because all of this stuff that you bought, you kind of screwed up. So the smart thing to take away from this is that you really want to spend time like buying like luxury items, but buy them with money made from the assets. You don't really want to buy it using your own personal money. And a lot of people get that wrong, which is why a lot of people are in debt because they spend their own income on luxury items. Because overall, it's okay. It's okay if you want like a fancy car. You might see a BMW that you want and you really, really like it. But a wise thing to do so you're not, making payments every few months for like the next 20 years is smart to probably wait and definitely buy things with money from assets. Because a lot of people, they'll buy like nice cars and then they end up paying it off for like a lot of years, and then that's bad because you can't resell it. So it would be smarter to have a side business and use the asset itself, and then use the money from your side business to buy a car. And then that way when you have it in full, you can still resell it. Because if you're still paying on something over time, you can't resell it because it hasn't been paid off yet, unless it's leased, and that's a whole other topic. So the point is that a lot of people need to just be humble, but actually think about what you're buying and think long term. And yeah, that's really it. So that's episode 1. We're gonna keep on just talking about money and just giving people advice and stuff, and just like and share and just discuss, just talk about the topic and get people informed and stuff. So that's it.